Greetings, 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 greetings. Another day, another day. Down here working. Doing the live screen today, baby. Live screen. Yeah. Got it on the big screen. All right. Flat power, bro. Fat power. What's going on? Brother Dennis in the house. Fat power, boy. I got some awesome stuff going on, baby. It's amazing. It's amazing how we go through life. And we be having books and things and information, and we just move so rapid through this information. And I skipped over a book. I it just blew my mind when I started reading it. When I bought the book, I glanced at it and scanned through it. I really didn't go in and take my time and just process the information. But when I did, could I tell you something? This book that I'm gonna be teaching out of, really, this is gonna be a discussion, because the way I look at it, we gotta discuss this book, because I don't think people are aware of how powerful and how much vast information is in this book. And a lot of people are studying the same information. And this book that I'm going to present to y'all was written in 1926. I'm going to say that again, 1926. And I don't had the book about 3 years. I know 3 or 4 years, probably longer than that. But I was laying in the bed and something say, hey, find that book. And it's called The Holy Corderon of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the Circle 7. The Circle 7. And when I tell you, Noble Jew Ali, or should I say the noble prophet Jew Ali, he blew my mind. He blew my mind. I'm telling you something. This man was on a level in 1926 that some of us barely touching the surface right now. And his thing was in this book. Now, let me tell you, I'm not a scholar of the Moorish. I'm not a scholar on them. I got the information through a divine teacher I was listening to. And my intuition and my curiosity led me to go get the book. But now, here's the thing. Knowledge has no religion. Wisdom has no religion. Understanding has no religion. It just is. And that's what we got to realize. But by me going, and I didn't read the whole book yet. It's not a big book, as you can see. But the chapters that I did read, now I'm gonna finish the whole book, but the chapters that I did read, it just blew my mind. And I thought this is what the topic gonna be on today. And what this book is telling Jesus of the Bible. And I don't know if y'all Bible scholars or Bible readers and remember in the Gospels where Jesus was in the temple and they couldn't find him and they was looking for him, and he made the powerful statement, I'm going to be about my Father's business. So after that, we heard no more about Jesus in the Bible. Nothing else about Jesus. Then at 33, he came back on the scene. He back on the scene. He teaching his wisdom. He teaching about the kingdom, and he teaching salvation. But Noble Drew Ali is saying that this same Jesus went to India and started studying with the Brahmanite and the priesthood in India, teaching them and learning from them, and all kind of situation. I'll tell you the truth. If you get this book, I'm gonna read something out of it, and it's gonna blow your mind. This book was written in 1926. Now, don't get me wrong. I buy the old books. I don't buy the new books unless it really do something to my soul, because the older information is more true, authentic than the new information. But it just blew my mind that I had this book, and it came from Moore Science. And the person that really shook me and woke me up, he was from the Moore Science, and his name was C. Freeman L. And so I was looking at that. I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna get the books. And I started getting some of the books, and I just fell away from it, you know, as we always do. We get some information and then we start be like, well, okay, I'm gonna move on because this caught my attention, and we got to stop that. But that's what we do. We'll get this information over here, and then it ain't moving fast enough for us. Then we'll jump over here, and then we'll get this right here, and it ain't moving. We'll jump over here. So that's one of the things I want to talk about today too. But I want to get into this chapter. Noble Drew Ali. This guy, he was on to something. And I don't hear more talking about this on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and stuff like this. But it's some powerful information in him. This man knew this. In 1926, let me read some of it to you. It's the chapter, The Unity of Life. That's what it is. Chapter 3, Unity of Life. Elohim lesson, the unity of life. Again, Elohim met his pupil in the sacred grove and said, no man lives unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cord to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they would not have men to do unto them. There are two selves. Now, this is where I'm freaking out right here at this stage right here, the wisdom, 1926. Now, this 1926. I'm finna start freaking out when I'm reading this. He said, there are two selves. He said there are two selves. The higher self and the lower self. Now I want you to stop and think for a minute. That is the information we teaching right now, today, 2024. This was back in 1926. This man was on this level. I'm gonna give respect and I'm gonna give honor what honor do. He say it's two selves, the higher self and the lower self. He say the higher self is human spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. Now he using Allah because you got to understand back in them days, they was getting away from Christianity and moving towards Islam, and that big division came in the Moorish Science Temple. Now, like I say, I'm not a scholar, but listen to what he's saying. He telling them that you got your higher self and your lower self, and just like sperm and semen, the spirit and soul is one unit. That's what he's telling. He's saying the spirit and soul is one unit. Awesome. Clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah, God, the Almighty, the All-Father. The lower self, the carnal self, the body of desire. This cat was on to some powerful thing. What this remind me of is what we should be practicing in order to reach our godhood, in order to manifest the kingdom of God on this earth, or the goodwill for men on this earth. But we got away from this. We moved away from this. In this teaching, these folks ain't even talking about this, what this man wrote in this book. He say the lower self, the carnal self, the body of desire is a reflection of higher self, distorted by the murky ether of the flesh. This man,
oh my God.
if you understand how powerful this is, because I know many people in and out of church been trying to find out how they get to God. What is wrong with them? Why is life treating them so hard? Why these things are going on? No, but Drew Ali had told us in 1926, and nobody told me about it. I didn't get the memo. I'm just getting the memo the other day. Listen, this thing deep. Listen what he say. It is murky ether of the flesh. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah in man and will not pass away. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. That's what I've been teaching. I've been teaching the same thing. See, everybody think the devil out there, bad luck is out there, all this negative stuff is out there. But it's falsehood. It's just illusion. Listen what this is Noble Drew Ali, Circle 7. I ain't no Moors, but I gotta give credit where credit due. Listen what he say. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah in man and will not pass away. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so it is false manifestation. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. And what I'm trying to say is, this is what I'm trying to say, brothers and sisters. If you're not clear on how to proceed in your day-to-day activity and being your highest self, what Noble Drew Ali put in this book was justice, mercy, love, and righteousness. Well, you gotta have that inside of you. So you gotta train yourself up. That's why I talk about affirmations and confirmations within yourself to build yourself up to get to your higher self. What he telling me, now this is what I'm perceiving out of this book, is getting to his higher self. If he put on the practice of justice, mercy, love, and truth, he will reach the pinnacle of God, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it. You're going to reach the pinnacle, the zenith, the height to your higher self. What is the higher self is not. And he's saying, because you got to understand now, we in a realm of polarity. The higher self, the lower self, it's a pole. And polarity binds these things together. And I told somebody the other day, I said, listen, you got the strength to knock somebody out, but you also got the strength to give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. You got those capabilities and attributes. Now, which one are you going to let run your life? And this is what Noble Drew Ali is saying. Now, I'm going to keep iterating that. I'm not telling you to join the Moore Science Temple. I'm telling you the information in this book is useful to your spiritual growth and your spiritual maturity as a divine God on this earth. Because let me go on. Let me just keep reading this, and then we're going to talk about it. The higher self is justice. The lower self breeds, listen what the lower self do, breeds hatred, slander, lawlessness, murder, theft. Everything that harms the higher self is mother of the virtue and harmony of life. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, satisfaction, gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eyes and pleasant to the smell. Their clothes are full of bitterness and gall. If you would ask what to study, I would say yourself. Listen what he say. If a man came to him and asked him, what would you study? He say, study yourself. Listen what he's saying again. And you will have studied them, and then would ask me what to study next. I would say, reply, yourself. So what he's saying is, you need to keep looking at yourself in order to raise your consciousness. The problem ain't on the outside, the problem on the inside. You got to change from the inside out. And I'm gonna get reason why I picked this. I'm gonna tell you in a few minutes. But he who knows well his lower self knows the illusion of the world, knows of the things that pass away, and he knows his higher self, knows Allah, knows well the things that cannot pass away. Thrice blessed in the man who has made purity and love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self and is himself his higher self. Men seek salvation from an evil that deems a living monster of the nothing world. And they have gods that are demons and discourse, all powerful, yet full of jealousy and hatred and lust, whose favor must be brought with closing, sacrifices of fruit and of the living of the birds and the animals and humankind. And yet these gods possess no ear to hear, no eyes to see, no heart to sympathy, no power to save. The evil is a myth. These gods are made of air and clothed with shadows of thoughts. The only devil from which men must be redeemed is self, the lower self. The only devil from which men must be redeemed is self, the lower self. If man will find his devil, he must look within. His name is self. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it, brother. We can do it. This man, when he wrote this book and told us we looking in the wrong direction, he telling his students back in 1926, 1926, that you can do this. And this is how you do it. And that's the whole thing, what we missing in it. See, we seeking knowledge on the outside, and all the knowledge is on the inside, because that's what God is. What did he say somewhere? Let me see. Let me find what he said. He made it plain and simple. Well, I can just tell it. In this book, he said, heaven is on the inside of you, earth is on the inside of you, and hell is on the inside of you. And what we need to do is become aware. That's all we are anyway. We only spirit wrapped into the soul, placed into a physical body, which is the shadow or the offspring of the soul. We can incorporate more justice in our life. We can incorporate more mercy in our life. We can incorporate more love, and we seek the truth. If you will seek the truth, these things will open you up, and you will take back your dominion over the lower self, because that is what keeping you bound down, the lower self. And people don't want to hear this kind of stuff because they don't want to work on themselves. They rather get on channels that gonna tell them to get millions of dollars and you can make millions of dollars. Well, you heard what he said. The body is the desire. It desires stuff. The universe already know we need to live. We need a place to stay. We need cars to drive. We need food to eat. We need clothes on our back. It already know that. But it also knows we need to learn our lesson, because deeper into this book, it explains to you, if you don't learn your lessons while you here now and make the transformation, you're going to have to do this shit again. Excuse my friend. You're going to have to repeat. And that's what people they ain't paying attention to this right now. I'm not going to bash people for making money. I'm not going to do that. But one thing I'm going to tell people, find you 2 teachers and you stick with them 2 teachers. Because what they done did now, and I'm looking at the game played before us, it was a time when people couldn't even read books. And if they did read them, they'll be killed or something had happened to them. Then what that did, that made everybody wanted to read. Everybody wanted to get knowledge. Everybody want to get it when they couldn't get it. Now they saying, okay, y'all want it so bad, we're going to flood you with all types of knowledge that ain't even going to teach you the way how to go. This book was illustrating how Jesus went down to Egypt, him and John the Baptist, and they went to schools in Egypt. You got to remember, Egypt and Jerusalem is right next door. Only thing stopping them is the Suez Canal. The canal is only 8-hour drive from Alexandria, Egypt to Jerusalem. So back in them days, they probably took a caravan. And for Jesus to go from Jerusalem to India, it's on the same platonic plates. It's on the same region. So what I'm saying is, the myth of all of these books, they fine and dandy, but the wisdom that we need from these books, we're not getting them. We want it fast. And that's what the enemy is doing. Anything opposite eternalness, anything opposite of eternalness is going to have you in this repeat. This time is for us to overcome the lower self. That's the goal of life. But somewhere they don't told us we get millions and millions of dollars and live fantastically. and then we come back and we get our spirituality. No, it don't happen like that. I'm telling you, it don't. I tried it. It didn't work. You got to seek ye the kingdom of God first. You got to go inside of yourself and find your higher self. Then every manifestation, listen, every manifestation you want after that, you're going to get it. Why? Because you God then. You don't overcome the lower self, and you can see through all the illusions. And if you need money, you can call money and it'll come. If you need love, it's going to come. If you need friends, they're going to come. Everything you need going to come to you. Why? Because if you go back and you listen to the Hindus, what they call Jesus was an avatar. But what is an avatar? An avatar is something that is attracted, that is descended down onto this plane. So what they was basically saying was, listen, all of us is avatars. Big shout out to Sanchez, brother Sanchez. He teaches that. Avatar. We use that language all the time, avatar. Now, I don't know if a lot of people understand what it is, but that's what it is. It means to ascend, descend. And when you descend into this physical realm and you rise back up to your higher self, everything that you desire and need to serve on this planet will be added unto you. That's why the Bible says, seek ye the kingdom of God first, and all its righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. You ain't got to worry about nothing. So my thing is, with a lot of people, they got to realize first you got to go inside and do the internal work. Then you go outside. Everybody want to get it quick. Yeah, you got to keep working on it. That is your job, to manifest that. Because listen, just think about this. If you got $1 million and you give your son $1,000, he come back with Jordans and all this jewelry and sacks of weed and got his earpiece too, new tattoos, and he just don't throw it away the $1,000. And then you step to him and say, well, bro, I was going to give you the whole $1 million because I wanted you to invest it and make something out of it, but I see that money is ruling you. You're not ruling money. You ain't finna still give him that $1 million. That's the same thing with our divine Father within us. You ain't finna get all these manifestations and you ain't no good steward of no money. Been there.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you how this works. So I think we need to peel back a little bit. Now, that's just my opinion, but this is what I'm going to do. We need to peel back and step back a few steps and get our heart and mind and body lined up. And I know a lot of people be like, man, I'm finna go to the gym. I'm finna go do this and I'm finna go do that. Why not just sit down and meditate? Why not sit down and try to bring balance to the chaos that's going on the inside of you? Have you ever thought about why you can't sit still? Why you can't overcome certain things? Because first of all, you got to overcome self. Yeah. And so my thing is, what we got to do is go inside. And what the man is telling us from this book is the foundation you need to set is justice for yourself, within yourself, mercy within yourself. You need to find the love within yourself and the truth within yourself. Then you will see the manifestations on the outside. This body is the manifestation of the soul and spirit combined. And when we get there, we'll understand. Yeah. But people don't want to hear all that. They want to go out here and I need this and I need that. Well, if you take a few minutes and invest that time in yourself, everything you need every day gonna come to you. Everything you need that day. Because your job is to learn these lessons in order to be a service to humanity. Our job is to take care of one another. You know, if you study zoology and you see how the ants, they know their particular job is to defend and to provide for that ant hill. They ain't going outside of that. You ain't finna have them talking about I'm finna take the day off and I'm gonna go dig another ant hill. No, they ain't finna do that. Whatever going on in that ant hill, what the queen ant say, that's what's happening. And then they serving each other, protecting each other, providing for each other. That's what we missing in it. That's why 1926, Noble Drew Ali say, listen, have justice, mercy, love, and truth. And when you do have that, you're going to combine your love for one another. And that's what people ain't doing. You got to be a servant. Let me tell you something. You got to be a servant to your brother. Serve yourself first, but you got to also serve your brother. For real. For real. And that's what people ain't doing. And once you go into yourself and understand how yourself is working, you're going to take that chaos from the lower self and the higher self. See, they fighting each other. And you need to bring the balance between the two. It is awareness, clarity, creation, and guess what? Balance. When you in that setting and you take them spiritual steps, that is called spiritual maturity, and then you're going to manifest all the money you need. What brother said in the chat, I was made to sit down and be. That's right. I believe you, Taurus. I believe you. I believe you was made to sit down. But guess what? In order for you to sit down, bro, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to align these things I'm telling you up. You're going to have to put that divine love in you, that divine, what they call it, agape love. You got to have love in people for people that hate you. You got to have love, godly love. You got to become God. We always calling ourselves God, but we don't think like God. We don't act like God. We don't treat each other like we God. If you're going to be a God, then you need to think like a God, manifest like a God. You got to have that heart. It don't matter what people do for you or what you get from people. You got to let the whatever God, however you call your God or whatever you call your God, you got to let it manifest through you with the power of love. You got to show mercy. And you got to have a just balance and truth. And that's what's going to set you free. Then once you're free from the bonds of this lower self, guess what you're going to do? You're going to manifest anything you want to. Why? Because people going to need you to manifest. Listen, let me show you something. Purity of the Christ consciousness, the mind, the deep purity and mighty strength of the Christ mind are made manifest in men as they develop spiritual. You got to develop. That's right, brother C. Freeman here. Yeah. You got to develop. It ain't no overnight. You ain't finna do this overnight. You got to develop this mindset. Because, and I keep illustrating this to people, you've been asleep longer than you've been woke. I'm going to say it again. You've been asleep longer than you've been woke. And what I'm saying is, you got to get back in the rhythm of being a God. You asleep, you was dormant. And when you woke up, you like, all your attributes and thoughts and everything is chaotic now. And you like, what going on? Then you woke up and say, I'm God again. Now you got to take them baby steps, getting back to your Godhood, your higher self. All this other chaotic mess is just keeping you down. Listen, the lower self is an entity, just like the higher self is an entity. And what the lower self has done is this right here. It is said to the universe, I'm going to make them bow down to me. Everybody got a lower self. Everybody got a higher self. And the higher self is saying, listen, I'm going to pull them up to me. And the lower self, no, I'm going to pull them down to me. And so you in the middle of a tug of war mentally. Please get this book and read it, because he was talking about the tools that you need in order to do some psychological transformation. But you going through a tug of war spiritually, and you trying to reach your higher self to be God on this planet, and the lower self is saying no, 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 And so what we need to do is get back into the practice of being God on this planet. We don't got away from being God. We was asleep. Now we don't woke up and we got the lower self is trying to dominate us and keep us in bondage because you don't want to do this again. I don't care what nobody. I don't want to do it no more. Mm-mm. I don't want to do it no more. I sure don't. I really don't. I ain't gonna tell no lie. Sure ain't. And so what I say is this right here. We got to be more disciplined. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm telling you. You ain't been taught that, Dennis. I understand that. This is what you need to be taught. How to go inside yourself and what to place inside yourself. And see what the opposite of what you play. It's an opposite going to take place of justice, of mercy, of truth, of love. What is the opposite of that? And then you can identify that is the lower nature. You get what I'm saying? Shoot me a one if you understand what I just said. Because what the man is saying, oh, you don't want to come back. Okay, I got you. But what I'm saying is a lot of people is going to miss this boat. And the man is simply, I mean, keep it simple, stupid. I mean, when I read it, it was so simplified. I'm saying like, wait, hold up. This is something I need to tell the people how this actually works. Because I know people is going through a million books trying to find the answer. And people don't even realize. C. Freeman L. told me this one time. I mean, on one of his screens. He say some of these people write books and cast spells on these books, and so people can continue to buy their work, and they know the book got some stuff familiar, and it's not going to benefit them. And you reading all these books, and people don't even realize it's people in the jungle don't never read these books, but they are seeing to their higher self without all these books. All they had to do is have the guidance. They call it the rite of passage. Yeah. So we got to change. If you change on the inside, then you're going to be able to change on the outside. But this is what we need to do. We need to do this. Money, listen, let me tell you something. Money is only an ideal. Money is only ideal, bro. Just like a car, just like a house. It's ideal. And that ideal is going to keep you in bondage. If you do not dominate or keep your dominion over it and use it just like you use a car. If you use money like you use a car, then you in good position. But if you let money run your life, then you in a bad position. You caught in the snare. That's what I'm telling you. Knowledge is power. That's true. I don't care what nobody say. Anybody that is walking on this plane and go into they self with knowledge, with truth, with love, with peace, and transform. I ain't talking about change. I'm talking about transform into their higher self. All the other stuff is out the window. It's easy peasy. Money gonna come to you. I told you what avatar mean, attractive. We already magnetic energy. And when we get to our higher self, listen, we gonna start moving faster. When we reach to our higher self, it's a higher vibration. So we're going to start moving faster. Then money going to come to us automatically. That's all it is. And you got to respect. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about money now. I'm going to tell you this. Don't talk bad about it. Money is an entity too. Money hear you.
Oh my God.
When you dog money out, or you treat money bad and don't let money do what it's supposed to do for you, you're going to see the lacking in your life now. I'm telling you. Done it. And what I mean by that is you got to let money do what it's supposed to do. You know what money's supposed to do? Put a one in the chat room if you know what money's supposed to do for you. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say we all need money. Okay, wait. Now I ain't gonna say need. Let me get that out of there because that ain't we can manifest that anytime. We need an ideal. I just told you money is an ideal. We need an ideal. And then guess what we need to do? Once we get the ideal, we need money to work for us. That's what money's supposed to do. We don't supposed to be working for no money. Money's supposed to be working for us. That's what it is. That's why we got it twisted. We got it. We think we supposed to go and label and do all this stuff, right? No, we don't. We supposed to be able to invest, money make, go and do what it want to do for us is accumulate some more little buddies and make piles of each other. They just piling up on top of each other. But we got this mindset because we in the lower self. We won't sit down and change our direction. What the Bible say, repent. And then start thinking like God and being God. That's the problem. That's why I'm so amazed by this knowledge this man was throwing out in 1926. This man was actually throwing some divine knowledge in 1926. Now, don't get me wrong. This book was made in the 1930 something. Don't get me wrong now. It was other books, but I'm thinking many authors copied this man's work and didn't give him the credit. For real. KOS, what's up, bro? Peace and purified. Yes, sir. Happiness, my brother. Yeah. So what I'm saying is we got all this stuff wrong. The problem lies within. So that's where we need to go, where the source problem at. We trying to fix everything on the outside. You can't fix everything on the outside because it's an effect. And it's an illusion. You got to fix the problem within. First, you got to know it's a higher self and a lower self. You got to know they're at odds with each other. Okay? Once you understand that, you damn near halfway. Then, when you go in, you got to understand that heaven is already in you, hell is already in you, and the earth is already in you. Now, your manifestations is coming directly from the source of sources because you don't reconnect it. This is the problem. Listen, Jesus had 12 disciples. Jesus had 12 disciples. Disciple means discipline. Discipline. So we're not disciplining ourselves in meditation, in our everyday activities, and doing disciplined things in order to accomplish, to get to the higher self, to really be authentic in our godhood on this planet. You ain't God. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. You can call yourself God in my presence. Boy, call me a God today. When you manifesting for the whole community, your whole community, when you manifesting for the people you deal with on social media, when you can send thousands and 100,000s to people, then you telling me you God. You showing me your God. Don't come to me telling me I'm God and I can't manifest. So we got to go back and regroup. We got to go back and regroup. Listen, Noble Jew Ali said it just like this. The beginning, listen what he said. The beginning of his thing. The second sentence, no man live unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords, spiritual cords, to every other living thing. So you ain't just living for yourself. You ain't just living for your little family. You living for every human, every plant, every bug, every animal, every dolphin, every elephant on this planet. That's how big we is, and we connected to that. So we got to go to the highest planet. And he even goes further and say, listen, when you kill an ant, the universe feels it. The sword of revenge coming out of Allah. But if you do good to the bird, Allah feels that too. That's right. And go back, my brother, I'm telling you, man, he woke me up. I don't know if I ever told y'all my background, but I was an ordained minister. Christian. And when I started, but now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's bad. What I'm saying is, it made me look at the Bible in a different way when I started looking at C. Freeman L. videos and following him. That was my teacher. I call him my master teacher because he woke me up. Then I started looking at Bobby Hemmett. Then I started listening to Phil Valentine. Then I started listening to Brother Panic. Then I started listening to Brother Polite. Then that's how I got to Brother Sanchez. You got to have one teacher at a time as you evolve spiritually. Stop looking at all the other channels, man, and getting stuck in one religion. You supposed to be evolving. You find you two teachers and let them teach you something that you don't know. You don't want no teacher that gonna teach you something that you already know. You want a teacher that gonna teach you something that you ain't never heard of before. And once you elevate, it's gonna be another teacher where you're gonna shift over to another teacher. And that's how this go, man. The universe already gave you victory, but you got to keep going. But you got to transform. And I need you to look up that word transform and change. They might be the same, but transform is better. Because when you transform, you everything, your body, mind, spirit, soul, your consciousness, your subconscious, superconscious, everything gonna change. Yeah. That was the man, C. Freeman L, man. I'm telling you, man. That was the man, man. I'm telling you. I mean, Bobby Him and them was over there watching him. Phil Valentine them. They couldn't touch that knowledge that man was throwing down, bro. So, my thing is, we got to start on the inside. All this other stuff we've been learning, man, I'm telling you, got to go back and just say, man, F, all the rest of this stuff is too much coming at me anyway. And I'm going to tell you something. Too much ain't good for you. I don't care what it is. Too much good knowledge ain't good for you, man. These folks is bombarding you. You turn on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, all you got is information coming at you all day long. Your brain gonna burn up. We guard, yeah, but guess what? It's so much data you can. Okay, let me show you why I'm saying this. If you go to the smorgasbord, or you can go to an all-you-can-eat joint. Now, listen to me when I'm saying. If you go to all-you-can-eat restaurant, and they say, go ahead, you pay your $20 or how much ever it costs, and you just get your plate of food, you eat. If you're a big guy, you might go get you another plate, you eat. Then you get your salad, you eat. That's it. That's all your body would allow. But unless you just keep going and say, well, I paid my $20, I'm finna eat all I can eat. You just eat. You just eat. Just eat. Next thing you know, you throwing up and shit. You don't got too full. You don't throw it up and everything.
Oh my God.
Well, information is the same way. I don't care if it's true or not. Your body can only take so much information and bring it into your mindset. You can't take all this knowledge they throwing on you just like this right here, because you're gonna miss something. That's why I'm telling you, get you two good teachers and listen to them. Everybody else, you got to have discipline. I don't want to hear that shit y'all saying. I'm going to my teacher. They doing a live screen. You go over there. That's it. My other teacher doing a live screen. I'm going over there. That's it. And once you do it like that, your body, your mind will digest it better. You'll retain the information better. And your spiritual growth will grow approximately. But if you listening to them today, you listening to this, then you listen to this one, then you listen to that one, then you listen to this one, this and that one, that. Man, you're gonna get confused. You causing your own chaos. And that's what we trying to tone down, the chaos within, in order to rebuild the ladder inside of us to get to our conscious level again. You can't eat all this information. You ain't built that way. Sure ain't. You ain't built that way. Ain't none of us is. We think we can grab it, but you're not digesting it right. Now, when you go, okay, I'm gonna say it like this: when you get to your higher self, and then you get to the Akashic records, you up on that level now. When that Kundalini serpent crowns you, and you get to that Akashic record, ain't no telling how much information you can hold and regurgitate it properly and teach other people how to use it. Ain't no telling. But until you get to that level, take baby steps getting to your higher self. You know, a man told me one time, he said, listen, I've been a millionaire 3 times. That's what he told me. He said the first time I ran up there so fast, and the fast as I ran up there, I fell down. He said the second time, I kind of slowed down, but I ran up there fast again. Lost everything. He said the third time, he slowed all the way down. And by the time he got all his millions back, he understood that it's a process. And it's a slow process. Slow is good sometimes. Purity comes through a process of subtleness, gradually. What they say, inch by inch, it's a cinch. I heard a brother tell me the other day, about 2 weeks ago, he said, listen, man, back in the day, priests and monks would take one, listen what he said, take one scripture and study that scripture for months at a time. Just one scripture, not no other scripture, just one scripture. Months at a time. See, that's why they're keeping us all this information. Yeah. Keep telling them, man, because I know you telling your daughter, slow it down. Stop jumping from channel to channel, man. All this shit is too much, man. And it's designed that way to keep you still confused. Here's what I'm trying to say. It was one time they weren't giving us knowledge. It was one time we didn't have these opportunities to learn these things or even know these kind of books existed. Man, I've been here 55 years. Yesterday was my birthday. And I've been here 55 years. But tell people I'm 27, though. Listen, 28. And 55 years, I never heard of Noble Drew Ali till about 5 to 6 years ago. And I didn't even know nothing about this. Probably 7 years ago. So it was hard for us to get knowledge. Ain't it strange? All of a sudden, you can just open up the channel and now you can get knowledge from anywhere. Do that make sense? Just think about what I'm saying. Once they weren't getting you, now they're getting you all kind of bullshit. So you got to have a discernment that things that touch your soul and people that is putting it out there that is good for your soul, that your soul can relate to, follow them kind of peoples, man. And then once you mature in your process, your evolution, then you will understand what I'm telling you. Too much of anything, I don't care if it what it is, it's not good, bro. Going back to Noble Drew Ali, he said, according to his scriptures, that yeah, we in the age of Aquarius, but bruh, that still don't mean you can eat all this food at one time, bro. You can't do it. Yeah, we supposed to be getting all this knowledge. Because the Aquarius is the water barrel, and it's pouring out. And water represents spirit, spirit represents knowledge. I get it. We in the age, but what I'm telling you, how to put it in your life so your mental, spiritual, and physical body can digest it better. Get you one teacher, get you two teachers, and that's it. And focus on what they teaching. And once you get on up the ladder, then you can go. I don't listen to C. Freeman L on a regular no more because my spirit evolved. Do I go back and visit his videos every now and then? Yeah. when I think I missed some, but the spirit will guide me back there anyway. So what I'm telling you is, you're supposed to get this information, but get it gradually. Get it gradually. You retain it better. I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people ain't realizing. See? And then here's what finna happen. All right, let me show you what Noble Drew Ali said. He was saying, this is what he's saying, this is what the Lord self is promising. Listen what he said. The Lord self is rich in promises. How many people on YouTube is telling you manifest in 30 days and manifest, and if you do this, manifest this in overnight. If you read this 7 times a day, you'll manifest this. If you go over here, you will do this. And if you do this, how many people telling you that on YouTube and all these other channels? You get what I'm saying? He's saying it's promises. And guess what happened? But pour in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, satisfaction, gain, but give unrest, misery, and death. He's telling you that. That's what I'm telling you. All this lower self. Well, what is lower self? Desire. Yeah. That's right, bro. I ain't finna teach nothing else, man. I'm gonna tell the truth about it. He's telling you, all these YouTube channels telling you all about desire. They teaching you desire. Do you supposed to shut all of your desire? No, you supposed to have discernment and understand this bullshit. Excuse my French, but this how this go, bro. And what I'm telling you is grab hold of somebody that your soul is saying, man, I understand what he's talking about. When you on that level, then he can feed you. Because that person, he or she can feed you gradually. I'm going to say it again. We've been asleep longer than we've been awoke. And divine truth is got to come through us to push us to the higher self. Now, when you get to the higher self, you get into the good stuff. But you might could just think of something.
Oh my God.
You could just think of things and they manifest. See, we want to get to that level, bro. We want to use all our senses, not just our 5 senses that they taught us about, but we got intuition, we got telepathic, we got all kind of senses that we can use in order to manifest, because we are gods, bro. God thought it and breathed life, and the 7 deities came out and created. That's how this thing went. We could do the same thing, but we got to get to our higher self. And the only way we're going to get to our higher self is coming through the heart chakra. We got to change the heart. That's what Noble Drew Ali's saying. He's saying it simply. And I don't know why it went over them folks' head back in them days. The man said it simple and plain. The fundamental. 4 is the foundation number. He gave you 4 things to place in your heart: justice, mercy, love, and truth. Can't get no simpler than that. That's y'all homework. Them 4 things. And when you do that, y'all like and share the video. I forgot about that. Y'all like and share. Hey, I need some subscribers too. Y'all like and share. I forgot about that. But when you get that fundamental foundation, then what that is helping you mature, bro. Yeah. Listen, bro. If a lot of us don't start meeting our higher self, we're going to do injustice to humanity. We on these channels to find our higher self information to get us to our higher self, so we can help change this civilization. I can't even say that word right, but you know, the matrix. We got to get to our higher self to help change, bro. To transform. And you can't rush it now. I'm going to tell you this, you ain't going to rush it. When you know, you know.
Oh my God.
I'm going to tell you so. You is not going to rush getting to your higher self. So don't even put no time frame on it. When you know, you know. You'll feel that heat going up your spine, and right back here, you'll start feeling that, and you'll feel that crown over your head. You'll feel it. You'll know when you're at your higher self. Because first of all, you're going to look at everything around you different. You're going to look at yourself different. You would know, bro. I'm telling you. But don't try to rush it. Yeah, for real. Don't try to rush it, because I'm going to tell you something. Many people don't try to sneak into the kingdom, and that Kundalini don't play. It'll drive you crazy, bro. It's dealing with your brain. It's dealing with your brain. That's why them folks sit down and meditate, bro. They be going through a what you call a disciplinary stage in their life in order for them to get to a level. You got to align your body, mind, and soul up. All of it got to be lined up in order to get to that level, bro. And sisters, everybody got to understand that. Everybody got to understand that. But if you shrink back the desires, see, boy, I keep illustrating this. This thing woke me up, man. If you shrink back your desires, okay, change your focus on putting more love in your heart, more mercy in your heart, more just balance in your heart, and more truth in your heart, and meditate on them things, then you own your desired reality. You're on the path of least resistance. And once you get on the path of least resistance, like I tell people, Bruce Lee said it best, flow like water. And once you flow like water, don't resist stuff, don't give in to the right nor the left, just flow, bro. Everything gonna work out then. Then you're on the right path. And then after a while, like I say, you'll know when you know. Yeah, I had created life. Yeah, well, man, it ain't no telling what we can do. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I ain't finna sit up here and deny the power that be within any given human being. Now, I'm gonna tell you that now. I believe when the magical, or what I'm gonna say, the energy that is around us, the magnetic and the electric energy that is around us, that it can transform people into anything and make anything, because it made all of us. See? So if somebody can tap in on that level, I believe we all can do it. We all got gifts that the soul can do. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not denying that you created your halo. I'm not going to deny that. And I'm not going to deny manifestation. I'm not going to deny healing, because all of these are gifts of the spirit to the soul, to the body. See, that's how this works. That's what Noble Drew Lee was saying. Only thing is hindering us is the lower self, because it's taking all your energy and putting it on your light bill, your water bill, your car note, your mortgage, your food. It's taking all your energy and putting it on desires, instead of putting all your energy on raising your kundalini, or opening up your third eye, or healing, opening your chakras. See what I'm saying? Because all of that other stuff is not going to get you to your higher self. The lower self is stopping you from getting to your higher self. It's putting stumbling blocks. And the only way you're going to solve that is to put things in your heart and affirmate these things. I'm going through it right now. I'm telling you. Telling you what's happening. So, Leah, I wish I'm going to learn how to drop the link so I can get people on here and get some feedback. Let me see. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think it's the best way to keep it simple. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more homework. And next time I go live, y'all, I'm gonna be able to drop the link so people can come on and share their opinions and things like that. You know, I'm fairly new on YouTube, but it's a blessing. I like sharing the things I experience. It's one more thing I want to share with y'all though before I go out. I did that one. Let me see. No. Okay. Yeah, I can't find it now. But yeah, I believe keeping it simple, man. I believe the ancient people, let me tell you something. I believe the ancient people were so advanced and they took their kids from the beginning now. Dennis, I'm gonna put my number on there and me and you gonna talk on the phone so you can help me out. Can you do that for me? Drop a 1 if you can. But I believe the ancient peoples was so advanced, they took their babies. Okay, cool. And they from day one, they start putting them in the training. And what they did was they was training them on their higher self. Because I don't believe the ancient people believed in no mythology about a demon or devil. I believe exactly what Noble Drew Ali saying. They taught them about self and self-worth, self-love. You get me? And they didn't tell them no opposite that was there. They didn't have no opposite. That's why you see these old monumental structures they call in cathedrals and energy centers everywhere, in old buildings in the boondocks that they can't even build right now because they opened their third eye so young back in them days. It probably was amazing. So to say this, when a lot of people go back to simplicity, that's why I like Brother Sanchez. He put a picture up there and make it simple for you to understand. You could see it. And big shout out to Brother Sanchez TV, Flat Power. And you can see it, and you got to remember the eyes is the window to the soul. And once you put an image in front of the eyes, it go directly to your subconscious. So when these people taught these kids back in them days, they did it in a level that it was so simple that these kids can go and build cathedrals and canals and come on, bro. Y'all think about building the Erie Canal. The Erie Canal. Think about building the Great Wall of China. Think about building a pyramid. Think about Teotihuacan down in Mexico. Think about these structures. You got to be in your higher self. You got to be on your higher self, bro, to build stuff like that. I'm sorry. I don't been to
Oh my God.
Angkor Wat. Yeah. So you got to be in your higher self. And that's why I say them people started young. When that baby, listen, and they'll show you on some movies if you watch it. They'll take that little boy, little girl, and give it to the priest early. And by the time they get out of there, they're on top of their spiritual game, they're on top of their physical game, they're on top of their mental game. So that's what we need to go back to. And that's why I keep it simple. But with that being said, yeah, I'm gonna learn how to drop this link in the chat room. So, y'all bear with me. And y'all like and share the videos so we can grow together. And I love sharing with y'all, man. I just have a good time. And I want to thank y'all for all participating and coming in. And with that being said, I'm gonna say, know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. Peace. One love.